Tensions have spiked sharply in the Asia Pacific after the US's House Speaker Nancy Pelosi visited Taiwan, with Beijing beginning its military exercises that include live fire drills in 6 zones surrounding Taiwan. The drills have kicked off in waters off the coast of Taiwan and are expected to continue for 4 days until the 8th of August, which will include long-range live ammunition shooting. They are expected to take place in multiple zones encircling Taiwan, at some points within just 20 kilometers of the island's shore. A Chinese military source also told media that the exercises are being staged in preparation for actual combat. Taiwan has condemned the drills. The Taiwanese military has now said that it is closely monitoring the unprecedented Chinese drills and that it will uphold the principle of preparing for war without seeking war, calling it an attempt to unilaterally undermine regional stability.
我国政府我们会更坚定的
Our government is even more resolute to safeguard the sovereignty and territorial integrity of our nation. In light of the current scenario, our government will not only actively strengthen its self-defense capabilities, but will also maintain close ties with like-minded countries like the United States. Together, we will defend the rules-based international order, avoiding further regional escalation while vigorously protecting the security of the Taiwan Strait and the freedom, openness, peace and stability of the Indo-Pacific region.
In the latest, Taiwan Defense Ministry has now confirmed that an unidentified aircraft had flown over its Kinmen Island. This after Taiwan yesterday confirmed that 27 Chinese warplanes had already entered its air defense zone and that it had scrambled jets to warn them off. Taiwan's Maritime and Port Bureau issued warnings to ships to avoid the areas being used for the Chinese drills, with Taiwanese cabinet confirming that the drills would disrupt 18 international routes passing through its flight information region. As tensions escalate, the group of 7 nations condemned China over its aggressive stance. Foreign ministers from the US, UK, Japan, Canada, France, Germany and Italy in a joint statement said, and I quote, "There is no justification to use a visit as pretext for aggressive military activity in the Taiwan Strait, and China's escalatory response risks increasing tensions and destabilizing the region," unquote. Now, for more on this, we have with us Keoni Everington, a senior editor of Taiwan News. Welcome to the broadcast and thank you for being with us. Now, tensions are clearly escalating in the region, with China now firing live long-range ammunition near Taiwan. The Chinese state media has reported that these drills are being staged in preparation for actual combat. Does this signify that China might use the Pelosi visit to set into motion their plans on Taiwan?
Yeah, it appears that could be the case. It's very concerning. They've also just added a new live fire zone this morning to make 7 live fire zones. So that's to the east of Taiwan. And so a concern is that this might become a routine type of thing. They might start to extend these out or repeat them. And as the MND said, it seems like it's almost forming kind of a blockade around the country. It isn't a real blockade yet, but the fear is that this could become the new normal. Like they could just start doing this whenever they feel like it or continuously doing it. And so that could eventually form a type of a blockade, both by air and sea. And so that's the fear, is that this could be setting a precedent, and that yes, that maybe they used her visit as an excuse to set the wheels in motion for this kind of slowly forming blockade. Will they form more of these zones? We're not sure. We thought it was just going to be 6 suddenly, and now it's 7.
Now, Keoni, what do you make of Taiwan's tough stance, where they have said that they will safeguard the sovereignty and territorial integrity?
I didn't catch that. Could you repeat that question?
No problem. What do you make of Taiwan's tough stance, where they have said that they will be safeguarding their sovereignty and territorial integrity?
Right. Well, it's a very difficult position to be in because they don't want a confrontation with China, because that would be the reason, that would be the excuse for China to start a shooting war. So basically, what they've got to do right now is to be very carefully monitor what's going on, do what they can to fend off, like, for example, with the drones, they were able to fire off flares when they entered airspace over Jingmen to ward them off. With these live fire exercises, there's not much they can really do other than stand by and avoid any kind of contact. So the difficult and worrisome part is that they might actually, the Chinese might actually expand these fire zones, bring them closer and closer to Taiwanese territory. It's already overlapping some of Taiwan's sea territory in an unprecedented way that we haven't seen before. So there's a lot of unknowns, and it's uncharted ground as far as how the Taiwanese military is going to deal with this, maintaining Taiwan's integrity while not in getting involved in an actual shooting war with China.
Right, and you have touched on it. Do you think that these drills will further disrupt the supply chains, as the shipping routes through Taiwan Strait are already being impacted by these drills?
Yes. So that's a big concern. It's already disrupted air traffic, commercial flights, as you mentioned in your report, 18 different routes. And so this is going to, if these are expanded, then we can see more of these flights being affected, and of course also sea lanes being choked off. This is also affecting other countries. My understanding is that some of these zones in the Taiwan Strait are going to affect flights for South Korean and Japanese airlines going to Southeast Asia, not even going to Taiwan. So yeah, this could be the starting point where they use these zones to cut off. Could even to attempt to try to strangle Taiwan in terms of its trade and transportation, both commercial aircrafts and as well as trade by sea.
Keoni, thank you very much for being with us on this broadcast and your valuable insights there.
Thank you.
WION, now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.